You're listening to the Call Kent podcast, where Kent C. Dodds answers questions and gives insights to software engineers like you. Now, let's hear the call.
Our team has been using Jest tests for a little over a year now, and we're very happy with them. One of my teammates pitched using Vitest.dev as a more performant testing solution that's backwards compatible with Jest. In addition, it allows us to do external network calls in our tests. We're a crypto company, so testing our dependencies within our flow is beneficial. What's your thoughts on transitioning over, and would you recommend it for us?
And that was the call. Here's what Kent had to say.
Hey there, Marcus. Thank you so much for the question. This is on a lot of people's minds right now. Vitest is a very interesting project, and the Vite project in general is very interesting and exciting. They have their own conference and everything. Like it's actually pretty cool how quickly Vite has been able to take the JavaScript ecosystem by storm. And I have used Vitest, and I'm very impressed with it. I think one of the nicest benefits of Vitest is that it actually just works with ES modules and is not a big pain in that way. But there are still some limitations. So it is technically faster, and one of the things that that makes it faster is the fact that it uses ES build instead of Babel. And so, because it's all using Vite for its build tool, which uses ES build. And the other thing that makes it a bit faster is they are using another project for DOM emulation called Happy DOM. JS DOM is a much older project and is quite slow. Very, very large, but Happy DOM is even less spec compliant than JS DOM. So you'll, if you're testing DOM stuff in those tests, then you're going to probably run into some problems. And so you can use JS DOM with Vitest, and that's what I ended up doing. But then you lose on some of the performance benefits too. So you're just like, okay, so why did we switch to this? The other thing is it just doesn't have, at least the last time I looked, it doesn't have as good of a watch mode. And there seems to be a number of other features like projects that are not supported in Vitest. So like Jest is much more mature. It has a lot more features and solidity around the features. As the Vitest does have a watch mode, but it's not as capable. I actually have found myself very frustrated in using Vitest's watch mode. It just doesn't work as well. So as far as like making network requests during your tests, Vitest isn't going to make that any easier than Jest does. You can definitely make regular network requests in your Jest tests. There's nothing special about Vitest that makes that more capable than Jest. You can make network requests in Jest, no problem. And as far as network requests are concerned, I typically don't actually make those in tests. This is a separate conversation from Jest versus Vitest, but normally I would use a project called MSW to mock out those network requests. I don't, at that level of testing, I don't really like making external network requests. But anyway, either way, whether you're using Vitest or Jest, I would use MSW for that. So as far as the question between should I use Vitest or should I use Jest, the slowness does not necessarily just come from the testing framework. Jest is actually quite fast, with relative to the amount of features that you have from it. Vitest doesn't offer as many of those features. It does have much better capabilities with ES modules. Jest is actually kind of limited here because of some things on the Node side, apparently. I talked with some maintainers recently about that, and they're just kind of like, we're waiting for Node to do something, so I'm not sure exactly what that is. And then, of course, Vitest does have ES build, so some of it is going to be a bit faster. But what really makes Jest slow is mocking the DOM, which is not a Jest concern necessarily, it's JS DOM. And Vitest, like I said, is going to have that same problem if you use JS DOM. And if you use Happy DOM instead, which is, I think, the default, then you're going to run into spec compliance issues sometimes. And like all of this is going to improve, of course. But then, yeah, again, Vitest watch mode is not as capable, and it's missing features like projects and stuff like that too. So as for me, I'm actually moving more of my DOM related stuff into end-to-end tests, or well, not exactly. With Remix has kind of changed things for me a little bit because my components have a backend piece to it. And so using a tool that uses the full browser and everything kind of makes even more sense. And so I'm doing more in Playwright or Cypress, but I'm actually really favoring Playwright recently. It's pretty awesome. Lots of cool potential, but again, Cypress is definitely a more mature tool, so you do kind of give up some things using Playwright over that. And anybody listening, if you are like, whoa, what's Cypress versus Playwright? I do have a Call Kent podcast episode where I talk about those two, so feel free to scrub back on the history to find that episode. But anyway, yeah, so I find myself writing more tests in Playwright recently, and in that world where we don't have to mock the DOM, then Jest is going to be quite fast, as will Vitest. And so I am still not 100% certain where I land on all of this and what I'm going to ultimately teach. With Epic Web, I'm going to have a testing workshop, and I'm pretty confident that I'm going to be using Playwright for that. And I think that I'm going to be using Vitest, but I'm not 100% positive, and I need to evaluate that. If you are using Jest right now and you're happy with it, then I think it would be a mistake to migrate just because. I think it wouldn't necessarily be a mistake to evaluate, but I do think, based on my experience, Jest is a more mature tool, and it works well. And most of the slowness is not because of the framework, but it's because of the DOM emulation. And I'm pretty sure actually you can use Happy DOM with Jest as well. So if you want to explore that, maybe you're okay with Happy DOM. And if you're using Happy DOM, it should be a bit faster there too. So anyway, hopefully that answers some of your questions, and I wish you the very best of luck in your endeavors. Have a nice day.
This has been the Call Kent podcast. Learn more about Kent at kentcdodds.com and get your own questions answered at kentcdodds.com/calls.